Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all well. Apologies, we're a few minutes late, but yeah, listen, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Listen, the Premier League fixtures are out, and we're going to be talking about the fixtures. Arsenal have got some pretty tough fixtures very early on, so we're going to be talking about that. Listen, remember, do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and do like the video. I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, let's get introducing my guests. And first of all, we have Simpy. How are you, Simpy? He's back again.
Yeah, not too bad, Daniel. Just on my lunch break now, so come and join in your stream. But yeah, I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Hopefully you're having a hopefully you'll have an enjoyable show on your lunch break. And we have Claude. Claude is in the building. How are you, Claude?
Hello, Daniel. How are you keeping? All right. Hope you and your family are doing all right. And glad to be back on your channel again and meeting up with Simpy again, who's always very knowledgeable about the game. And so, yeah, it should be a good chat.
Yeah, and listen, it is going to be a good chat. And we've been waiting for a couple of weeks now for the fixtures. Obviously with the seasons being quite crammed together, we haven't had to wait too long. It doesn't really feel like we've had a kind of like a break, do we? It doesn't really feel like that, because we've had the Premier League season. We had to get this season completed. Then now we've got a little break with the transfer window and that, but obviously there's still the Europa and Champions League's been going on, so we haven't really had a time off football really. Normally we get a massive big long summer and everybody's pulling their hair out because there's no football, but we haven't actually had that this year, which I actually think is a good thing, because when there's no football, it is boring. it is boring. Yeah, the fixtures are out, and we're going to go through them. So Simpy, let's go through the first 5 or 6 Arsenal fixtures.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got a good game to start off with. We're playing Fulham away. Obviously, what was it, 2 seasons ago, Fulham in the Premier League, and they weren't a very good team. Obviously got relegated, but I think Scott Parker's taken over and he's done quite a good job in the Championship with him. And now they're going to be coming up again in the Premier League, and hopefully they'll be trying to stay up. So I think this is actually a good fixture for us to start with, to be totally honest. It could be a lot worse. I think this is probably one of the best we could have hoped for, to be honest, just to get the boys up. But I think the thing as well, like you mentioned, Daniel, about the whole summer break, is because we've only had such a short break now, I think our fitness levels will still be quite high than they would have been if we had that couple of months off. So it should be quite good.
Yeah, I think the Fulham game is a perfect one to start off with, because of the promoted side. They'll take a while to get adjusted to the Premier League as well. I think that's a perfect start for us, and then you go on to West Ham on the next game.
I saw that we got Fulham and West Ham. Those are 2 winnable games as well, though, aren't they? Those are 2, because considering when you look further down the fixture list, we've got quite a tough. So actually, it'd be nice to hopefully you're looking at that and saying 6 points out the 2 games, possibly.
So it's 2 away games. I think I'm not sure if you go further down. I think Man United, Man City away as well, and Man United coming up as well in the first 10 sort of game. When is Man United?
31st of October, away.
31st of October.
So in the first 7 games, we've got Liverpool, Man City, and Manchester United, all away from home. So what a tough away start we've got there on that front. So
yeah,
I suppose it's best to get them out of the way early, then we can. But you never know. We might. I mean, catching them early as well. might be a good thing actually, catching them early.
The good thing as well, though, Claude, is we're meeting those teams when the likelihood is there's going to be still no fans in the stadium, so it's not going to be as daunting as when you like going somewhere like Liverpool. We know how intimidating Liverpool can be, and that you know, going to sort of those places, you're not going to be getting the crowd, so it could actually benefit us. And you know, I think that the one thing that Arteta's got to do this season is where we're going into away games thinking, oh my God, it's an away game, and predominantly our away form has been quite crap over recent seasons. So the Arteta's got to change that mentality of when we go to away, we can't be fearing sides like we have done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few good ones in there that we'll pick up point. I think we can pick up points. Actually, there's another tough one. Is Leicester at home, so it's not an easy start really when you look at it. If you go further down after Man United, I think it gets a little bit. What does it get after that? If you go slowly, Arsenal, Villa, then we've got Leeds away, and then Wolves at home. So and Wolves at home ain't gonna. That's another hard. And then the first North London derby is on the
5th of December. 5th of December, and then also we have Chelsea on Boxing Day. Did you see that fixture on the? Chelsea on Boxing Day.
Yeah. See, I think the crowds will be allowed back in October, but at 25% capacity.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking if it's 25%, they might as well just keep it empty, as far as I'm concerned.
Do you know, Claude? I said this. I said I'd rather have all or nothing. What's the point in just letting it? Because see, the thing is, right? How are you going to police that? And how are you going to make it so it's fair for everybody? You can't do it. And there's always going to be people. I'll be happy, and I said this for a long time, that I would be happy just to not have this season with fans and just I want all or nothing. There's none of what's the point in having this 25% bullshit? It's just pointless. I don't see how you're going to police that. I don't see how you're going to make it fair. There's going to be people that kick off, especially how you're going to tell, right? Season ticket holders, you've not been selected. Or what are they going to do? They're just going to make it so that only season ticket holders go. It's just a minefield, absolute minefield.
Well, what'll happen, I suppose, is you'll get season ticket holders will be divided. 1 week you'll be able to go, and the next week someone else will be able to go, and that's it.
Yeah,
and that's why they're going to have to put the. I don't know how they're going to do with the price when they're given the prices for the season tickets. I don't know how they're going to work that one out, but it's a bit of a. Well, we'll be interested to see how they do work out, because I don't know how they're going to work this one out.
What's your take on that, Simpy, with the fans going back in? Because it divides opinion, doesn't it? Like some people saying it's still not safe. But you know what, right? I always say this as well, that let's be real about this. Even when fans do come back at full capacity, you're not ever going to get rid of this virus. It's too far in the community. It's spread too far. It's just something we've got to live with, and we can't be living with this fear of, it's not safe to do things, because otherwise you're never ever going to get back to some normality. But I do think that the clubs have got a big job on their hands, because, like I say, how are you going to police it? How are you going to tell people? I've said what they should do, right, is that they bang on about people wearing masks, that it stops the spread of the virus. So I said, all right, then, why don't you just let everybody, let fans go back into the stadiums at normal capacity and just make everyone wear a mask? Majority of the stadiums are outdoors anyway. So, you know, there's not really going to be a massive spread. A lot of the stadiums are open. So just make everyone wear a mask. Make everyone wear a mask. Make people, you know, when you go to Arsenal, you get searched anyway, and when you go into most stadiums, so just say, sorry, you can't come in unless you're wearing a mask. That's the only fairest way I can see of doing it.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think there's more to it though, because even with the mask, I don't feel it's the social distancing rule still doesn't work, does it? They still got to have a social distance. I don't believe in. I think this time I'm going to be a bit controversial in here, but I think it's about time we just got back to normal and let it flow, let it see how it goes. Because
yes, I'm with you, Claude. I'm with you, Claude. Because
how long are we going to go on with all this? How long are we going to go on doing this without being all this cautiousness goes with it? How long are we going to go on for? And what will happen is, right? People can't do this, can't do that, people will end up committing suicide. Never mind. Then the death rates will go up. Do you know what I'm saying? So at a certain time, we've got to say, well, look, it's just another thing that we just got to be more careful with. That's all. I'm walking down Finsbury Park, yeah? I'm walking down Finsbury Park, and not one person, hardly anyone, I'd say about 80% are not wearing masks. 80% are not wearing masks. So what difference does it make if we open up in a football stadium up and let people come in? It's no different. I think it's about time we just now. All right, let's give it to October, November, then let everyone come back, see where the situation is.
Or just. I mean, I don't even. But Claude, what they should do, right, is I'll be happy because they're talking about October, right? Fans could go back in the stadiums. I'd say scrap that. Just give it till the new year. So as soon as it hits the 1st of January, let people back in from then. Yeah, and just charge people half price season tickets. And then just do it from there, because then it gives it a few months. They're on about there's going to be a winter rush with this. You know, there's going to be a spread. But do you know what, right? It pisses me off because how many people die from influenza? And
but it's strange. It's strange how it never came. We never got. If it comes in the winter, so how comes it took us till March before we realised about this COVID? Was it March when we all decided? So where was it in December? Where was it in January? I'm not having this. I'm not having it.
And the thing is, Claude, as well. You have to. The thing is, you've got to get back to some normality, and the fans, right? Fans going back to games. Listen, I know we've massively gone off the fixtures, but we will get back to it in a second. But the fans going back in. You've got to let them back. Like, how many people die from influenza? We got a vaccine for that, but it's not a cure. Do you know what I mean? And 95% of people that get the vaccine, it has no effect on them whatsoever, and they still get flu. So I don't see. Listen, I think it's all just a load of bollocks. If I'm being honest, I think that I think that it.
Well, listen,
I'll be surprised. Claude, I wouldn't be surprised if next year by January we'll have all made a fuss about nothing. It'll all peter out. Listen, people are already going into mass gatherings, on the beaches and stuff, and it's not having no impact. Yes, local areas are, there's a high number of cases up north, and there's high number of, there's things happening. People aren't following the rules up there. But the way I look at it is this virus is never going to go away. What are you going to do? Halt the economy? Because people will get pissed off. People will get, and the government, right, are actually fucking around with people's lives. They're going, oh, we're going to have to shut pubs to open schools, and we're going to have to do all this, and we're going to. It's like you're just messing around with people's lives. You've not actually got a fucking clue as to what you're doing. You're just gambling with people's lives. You're outlaying all this money when, quite frankly, we're all going to have to pay this back. and you just have no clue. But in respects of getting fans back in football, I said they should just, like I say, just let people in and just let this thing run its course. Of course, there's going to be people that die, and listen, every death is tragic. I'm not saying that, but unfortunately, I don't want to be controversial with this, but unfortunately, death is a part of life, and unfortunately, if your time's up, your time's up. There's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah. Also, Daniel, you look at these players in the games. Or are you watching the games, the European games, all the games you've been watching, and they're all sitting separately with masks in their seats. Yeah. Yet the next minute when they're on the pitch, if there's a goal scored, they're all hugging each other.
Each other.
Just what I'm saying. So what's the point of having masks in the stand if you're all going to be making contact on the pitch anyway?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it.
Don't make sense.
It's all bullshit, mate. Anyway,
Simpy, let's read a couple of chats out, because what we'll do is we'll move on with the fixtures.
Okay. Where are we? I'll scroll up to the top. So yeah, we got Omar, Ilias, Melina, GDU, John, Damon, Ryan, Bertrand, Sofian. Sofian was saying, because obviously he's a West Ham fan, he said, doesn't want to be negative, but he's got no hope when he plays Arsenal. If there were fans, we would have more of a chance because the Emirates is a library at times.
It's true. It is true. We were playing better when it was the ground was empty, wasn't it? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I want to get Leeds and Liverpool out the way with no fans, because they're going to be very dangerous places to go.
Yeah, Leeds and Liverpool.
So loud.
Leeds and Liverpool. I mean, I said on I think Leeds are going to be the surprise team this season. I honestly do. Yeah. I said Leeds will finish in the top 8. I do think Leeds will finish in the top 8. And a lot of people think I'm mad for thinking that, but I do. I think Leeds will finish in the top 8.
Yeah, possible. Okay. They've got the right coach to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I honestly do think Leeds will finish in the top 8. I think. Listen, you're going to tell me that I've said as well. I've said I think I think the teams that are in trouble are going to be in trouble next season. I think. You look at Tottenham; they're going to be in trouble next season. I think. Listen, they're going to massively struggle under Jose Mourinho. I think they're just going to. They're not playing well. There's something going on at the. Now they brought in old Butterfingers, Joe Hart. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to. Listen, I do. I think. There'll be a lot of surprises next season.
Let's see. So we got up to Arsenal-Chelsea on Boxing Day. So hopefully the players haven't had too much Christmas dinner and they'll be up for that game. Then we got Brighton. So hopefully Brighton this season won't do the double honours. So we got that game 2 days after Boxing Day.
Why do we always get flipping Brighton in the winter? Why can we never get it sort of like in the early, where the weather's decent, like.
It's away as well.
Assuming fans can go by then, but that's what I always say. We always get the nice, relatively nice places, but we always get them in the winter. So you can't do fuck all when you go to the game. You just
that's two guys. There's a guy we're playing a Saturday and on the Monday. That's a tricky one. That is, yeah. And then you got on the Saturday. So we've got them 3 games all in one. Quickly together. Then of course it's the FA Cup, and then it's which by the way, there's no replays in the FA Cup this year. You both know that, didn't you?
Yeah, it's about time they scrapped that, because it was doing my head in, the replays. I think that's a good thing as well, having no replays, because I think there'll be a lot more upset. I think there'll be a lot more surprising results, and it will make teams go for it. It will make it more of a healthier competition.
Yeah.
Then we got the first game against West Brom in January the 2nd. So a lot of people have said West Brom's going to go down, but I'm not too sure. It's hard to predict this year.
Let me tell you something. I think West Brom will be a trickier game because they all seem to play well against us, don't they? They always seem to fucking turn it on against us.
I think we got beat the last time we played them, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3-1. 3-1. It was I remember we drew on New Year's Day. No, New Year's Eve was it? Yeah, we played them on New Year's Eve, and then we played them again, and they beat us 3-1.
Then we got.
That's quite a good set of run of games. Those three. Well, those four actually: West Brom, Palace, Newcastle, Southampton. Then we got a 3-day break before Man United.
Right. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah.
And then Wolves away as well.
Yeah.
Good. And then Villa at home.
No, Villa away there, isn't it?
Villa away. Sorry,
Villa away. Yeah. So it seems quite spread out. I know we've got a few tough fixtures in there, but to be honest, with the way the Premier League is at the moment, there's no real easier games. I mean, I wonder now we know the fixtures, whether this will speed up Arsenal's transfer plans with trying to get some of these targets in before we hit those big fixtures, because you think the transfer deadline day is right in the middle of those when we got those tough fixtures.
It's a shame because I think we won't. One of the this is what I said. Why I wanted us to get this done before the season started. The players in before the season started, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, have by the deadline day we'd have already played Liverpool and
what's that? Sorry, Claude. Say that again.
By the deadline day, I think we would have already played Liverpool and Man City, wouldn't we? I'm not sure, but
when is the deadline?
5th of October.
Yeah, 5th of October. I mean, you've got a window. You've got a window for Premier League sides doing transfers after that, but the main end of the window is deadline day.
I think, I'm not
it's
sure.
The 5th of October.
Yeah, we would have played Sheffield United, Liverpool, West Ham, and Fulham, and also Liverpool in the Community Shield as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about the Community Shield. I mean, that's. But the Man City game comes after it, does it? Man City.
After the window,
yeah. So I do like the fact that like Simpy, you make a great point that we're not going to be fully out of fitness, are we? We're gonna, we're only a couple of weeks, so we're still going to be, it's like, a lot of people were saying that the end of last season was more like a pre-season than an actual season. Now, and then having this, the break and then coming back and going straight into the next season might benefit us. I mean, obviously the likes of Man City and Man United, they're going to be a little bit kind of, they've played right through the summer, so it might affect teams' fitness. Is going to be probably an issue at the start of the season, going into October because of that congestion. And don't forget as well, you're looking at there's other competitions as well with the the Carabao Cup and the the Europas and the Europa starts in October as well. So the fixtures are going to be, even though the Premier League ones are quite spread out, the fixtures are still going to be quite congested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then in February,
I'm quite happy with those fixtures though. I'm quite happy with the fact that listen, you've got to play the big teams at some point.
Yeah, you've got to play them, as you say, you've got to play them all at once. It's just that you don't want to be playing them all in the same sort of period, do you? That's the only thing. But you can't complain, though. That's how it goes. It's just I think we've got the benefit of Fulham and who was it? West Ham. Mm-hmm. So we've got a benefit of getting off to a flying start. Of course, But you don't know in Arsenal, we'll end up dropping points there and getting something at Liverpool. You know, you don't know. You just
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know. I mean, look at the end of last season. Look at the end of last season. We look at the end of last season. We beat Liverpool, didn't we? And we lost to Aston Villa.
Yeah,
it was mad.
And Brighton, we lost to Brighton and Villa.
The only thing I will say on that though is that a lot of people, you know, after we beat Liverpool and Man City, everyone was going, "Oh, we should win Aston Villa. It's an easy game." And I said, "Listen, let me tell you something, right? We've got nothing to play for in the league. We had nothing to play for, so I can see these players just saving it all for the final, and that's how it pretty much turned out. You know, players were saving themselves for the final. So I kind of expected that, and it's going to be different this season because we're going to have more to play for. So hopefully that we can get off to a good start and try and get a couple of points on the board and, you know, be up there. That's what we've got to do, is we've got to be up there.
Yeah. No, I'm just someone was asking about the Emirates Cup. There's no Emirates Cup this year. The only reason the Emirates Cup would have been on if they were going to make money and people spectators for it. So there's no Emirates Cup. No. Is the answer to that. I don't know. Is there any people?
We'll read some
asking questions in there.
Read some chats out, Simpy. Read
some. Where are we? Let me scroll up a little bit because there's been quite a lot of them.
Do smash a like, everybody. Keep firing that. I know I keep banging on about the likes, but it's really important. Everybody drive the likes up because it does help get the channel out there and get it noticed. And do subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Yeah, Elias was saying, even if we start well, I'm not going to get carried away, as we won our opening 2 games last season and ended up having one of the worst seasons in our history. So I expect there to be lots of obstacles.
Yeah, that's very true. But it's a new season, it's a new coach, so everyone is optimistic, more and more optimistic than last season. Remember, last season we went in to the new season with a coach who was under pressure after failing to qualify for the Champions League, and so I think this is a different scenario. Everyone seems to be behind the new coach, and I think this. I mean, if we get off to a good start, who knows? We can go to Liverpool and get a result, some sort of result, and Man City. You know, you don't know. I mean, but I'd like to see these new players in before the start of the season.
So would I. And the one thing that we've got in our favour, and I think this is a good thing, is that we've just beaten both Man City and Liverpool. So when we play them, it's going to be relatively fresh in their minds what they can do. And if we can pull something out in the Community Shield, you know, listen, I know that's not massively important, but I suppose it is in terms when you've got a team like ours who confidence is a massive thing. If we can pull a result there and start in a good way, keep this momentum going, you know, after winning the FA Cup. That's why I said to you guys that it's quite important, the fact that, okay, yes, we've not had a real break, but this FA Cup win will still be fresh in their minds. You know, the fact that it's only a couple of weeks ago, and you know, everybody, there's a feel good thing around Arsenal at the moment, and I know we've had a few setbacks with the departure of Raul and you know, things happening behind the scenes, but generally there is a feel good factor around the club. So if we can keep that going and transmit that on the pitch, I think we could do a lot better this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Cheddar said, like you guys were mentioning, about starting with 25% capacity and working your way up. But the thing is, with that, you need to get in the right stewards, security. If they're going to have the shop open, the refreshment shop, etc., if that's going to be open or if it's going to be just bottles or something people can buy. So I don't know how that's going to work. But then, like you guys said, if I don't know, Daniel, say you and your wife went to games like every single week, and then say you got chosen to go, but she didn't get chosen to go. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Like if you got like a family of people like that, for example.
Well, I mean,
how would that work out?
see, I'm quite lucky anyway, because if they pick me out of the season ticket holders, I'll get a spare ticket anyway. So, but my wife generally tends to come on my spare ticket. But yeah, I see your point about the family thing. I do see if families get picked, some of the members of the family get picked. That's what I mean. It's a complete minefield. I don't know how they're going to do it. And to be quite honest with you, I'm glad I haven't got that headache, because I'll tell you something now, telling Arsenal fans or any football fan, listen, not just Arsenal fans, but telling any football fan that you can't go and support your team. So I wouldn't want that job. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want that responsibility, because listen, everybody knows that we have the most passionate fans, in Europe. The Premier League, has the most passionate fans, out of all the leagues in England and Europe. So I don't know how they're gonna police that. I really don't. I don't know how they're gonna come to the decision.
Yeah, it's good job. It's their job to do that then, and not ours.
Yeah,
it's going to be very tricky. Melina's asked a question. What do you guys think about the new away kit? It looks a lot better in person.
Well, it looks to me like someone's just splashing paint on the shirt. When you just splosh the paint and
yeah.
You can't keep splashing paint. When you just threw the paintbrush at the picture and just splosh the red paint on. That's what it looks like to me. But not a big fan of it, no.
It looks like I hated it at first, and now it's kind of growing on me. There's the whole marble halls kind of stuff. It looks a bit dodgy, but oh well. Ilias was asking, do you guys think the Man United and Man City's fixtures being postponed will benefit other teams? So I think, is that their opening game, is that being postponed? Because they were in Europa League and Champions League.
They were in Europa and Champions League.
It was ages ago, that.
Yeah, I don't get that. I guess
what I don't get on that is that Wolves were in the same competition as Man United. Yeah, they've got to play Monday. They're playing on the Monday, but and they were in the same competition as Man United, which is strange. Is it because they went out just before? I don't know.
I think that's probably why. So it was like a week before, wasn't it? They got knocked out by Sevilla.
Oh, right. That's probably the reason why. Right, yeah, I get it now, yeah. Because they're playing on the Monday, yeah. Right, I get it then. But I don't think it gives them much of a disadvantage or advantage, really. It's one game, and it is.
Yeah, I suppose because they had the extra week as well, didn't they? They had the.
I think it's fair as well, because if they've just come back, they went further into the season. It's only fair, really. It's a fair thing. They've had to do that, really. To be honest with you, it would have been unfair, because now they've just finished, and they've not got much. They've got to go on. The players have got to go on holiday, and by the time they get back from holiday, they've got back into training, so they need to train for a week or so. Yeah, I think it's a fair decision. I can't. It's justified.
Yeah. Let's rattle through a few more chats before we wrap up, guys.
So John Revenite is asking Claude, what does Claude think about the Gabriel signing? Is Arsenal finally fortifying the back line, or was he just too good a deal not to do?
I'm going to be honest with you. I know nothing about the guy, but I've heard people like Dan Potts, who knows very much a lot, and I trust his judgment, saying he's a very talented player. I would say the only thing I would say about the signing and for next season, if we're playing four at the back, it's a bit of a risk, because to play two young centre halves together without any experience, I think is a bit of a risk because, as you know, they're young, they're going to make a lot of errors, and errors bring bad results, and bad results bring impatience. So if they're playing in a free with someone like Louise or someone there with experienced player with them, then maybe I think that'd be okay. That's the only worry I've got on the signing. I think it's but as for long term, I think it's a great signing.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing. I think it. You know, if it happens, obviously it's not confirmed yet. It's still waiting to happen. I think we need to get somebody in. We needed to get somebody in because the centre backs we have at the moment, a lot of them are crap. But my only worry is we're kind of adding centre backs, and we need to get rid of some of the crap that we've got because at the moment we've got about 8 or 9, 10 centre backs that we've got far too many of them. We need to start shipping out. And this is what I was saying to I said on previous shows that I've done, that it's all well and good being linked to Thomas Partey, and it's all well and good being linked to this guy and then obviously signing Willian. But what about the outgoings? What about the outgoings? Because that's just as important. And at the moment, I don't see enough outgoings for my liking, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to get, to offload players. I even hear El Nenny's back in training, so he's back. But it's very difficult. Yeah, I understand, but it's very difficult to off players that people don't want. You know what I'm saying? And they're on a lot of, and that's the problem. You've got Mustafi's on $100,000 a week. You're going to find a buyer that's going to pay him $100,000 a week. People and Kolasinac, all these players on high wages, so it's very hard to get rid of them. So I hear Socrates is wanted by Napoli, so that would be good if we could offload him. But there is rumours about.
Thing is with Socrates, right? So Napoli want them. I don't get that. So why would Napoli? I mean, is it true? Because why would Napoli want Socrates if they were supposedly going in for this kid that we're supposed to be getting?
Because Koulibaly's going to City, so they need a cover.
Well, I don't know, because I've seen a lot of City's just brought in Ake, haven't they? So are they going to get Koulibaly? Is that going to happen? Because I think there's a lot of things open ended at the moment, isn't there? There's a lot of speculation. There's no actual clarity on any of this.
But Daniel, what you've got to understand is that with Socrates is that their second option because they can't get Gabriel. That's what I'm trying to say. So what they're in there, if we get Gabriel, then that would that's their second option. Because all what these clubs do, they've got their options like first option, second option. If they can't get the first, they'll get the second option and then the third option. Maybe Socrates is their second option. That's how I see it. So once we pull this Gabriel deal, apparently he's a lot of media reports are saying that he's due for a medical today. I don't know if that's true, but if we sign him, then that leaves us to do business with Napoli to get Socrates out of the way. Yeah,
that's and that's all well and that's good. I hope that we can get rid of some of these crap, because we do need to start shifting players. So yeah, what else we got in the chat, Simpy? What else is?
Sofin and Ryan were talking about Gabriel having to choose between Arsenal and Napoli, and he's chosen Arsenal apparently. And Sofin was saying, it's because they're trying to sell Koulibaly to City. That's why they're after Socrates. Then Cheddars was saying, Socrates and Manolas, the Greek walls. And John was saying, when you were saying about how much like Deadwood we've got and all these players, and Club was saying about the wages and stuff. So John was saying, nobody wants your leftovers. The only one that looks like he might be on his way out is Guendouzi, and getting rid of him is the least of your problems. He's the best of your Deadwood. That's coming from John, the Liverpool fan.
Thing is, with Guendouzi, we could at least get 40 million for, which would give us a lot of much needed cash. So I honestly think we should be looking to get Guendouzi out.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be. The club don't want him anymore. Arteta doesn't want him. So it's no good keeping him if the club don't want him and he's unset, and if he's upsetting the players as well. There's no point in keeping him. If we can get a good deal for him, around 30 to 40 million, I think we should snap their hands off, really. Well, considering we've only paid about how much did we pay for him? 8 million?
I think he was like 8 million or something. He wasn't very expensive.
So a quick profit, isn't it? It's a quick profit. And it gives us more money to spend as well. So
you can go and join Unai Emery at Villarreal.
Yeah.
I know he's been linked there as well, isn't he? So they want him. But yeah, listen, that would represent a profit. And then you've got the likes of, like Maitland-Niles. You don't know whether he's going to stay or go. I know Arteta wants to keep him. I said that as soon as Raul left the club, I think it paves the way for him to stay. So I think he could end up having a future at Arsenal.
Yeah, did you see the reports today? I don't know how true they are. Of I think it was yesterday, came out as well, late last night, about Guendouzi and money for that Aouar. I don't know how to pronounce it, from Lyon.
From Lyon.
They offered it, and apparently Lyon haven't replied yes or no yet. But I don't know how true that is. But I've seen quite a lot of people report that. But that'd be quite good.
That's a good player. I've watched him in the last few weeks. What I've seen of him, that would be a good signing. And we've got to remember also that Ceballos hasn't signed on yet, so he could be missed. He could be going as well. So we might need that sort. That's the sort of player that will probably could come in for him as well. Because as far as I'm concerned, no, he's not signed yet. Has he, Ceballos, for another year? Has he?
No. Did you see?
No. He apparently tweeted Joseph Willock happy birthday, didn't he? And said, "I'll see you soon."
Yeah, that's it. He put a sticker at the bottom saying "see you soon," and then like the eye emojis. I
tell you what, some of our fan base, the way we react to stuff on Twitter, So see that Ghanaian president or something got his stream hijacked with Arsenal, going, "Oh, his party coming to Arsenal," and all this.
They track the planes, everything.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen at any other club, would it? Just us.
No.
We have to make such a fanfare about fucking players coming.
Look at this carry on over the Aubameyang deal. Jesus Christ! I mean,
yeah.
Is he going to sign? Is he not signing? It's been going on for weeks, mate. It's a joke, mate. I don't know why the club are dragging that out. They know he signed the contract, right, and that's it. Why are they dragging it out and letting people find that people know he's signed? So just announce it.
And it took 5 days for them to announce the Willian deal. And we all knew that was happening. So
I know. You could say that deal was done with Aubameyang 2 months ago, 3 months ago. There's no doubt about it. Because at the end of the day, no one's got the money. With the money that's with this COVID thing going on at the moment, Barcelona are skin. None of the top clubs in Europe will want him because they've already got players already in that position. So where's he going to go? He's not going to go anywhere. So Arsenal, of course, he's going to sign a contract. There's no doubt about it. I mean, and he's probably signed it, but I think they want to make a big thing about it. I don't know if they want to announce it on a certain day. I don't know, but it's dragging on, and it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
So, listen, before we wrap up, Claude, I want to ask you 2 quick questions. Firstly, do you think Willian will be good for us? Do you think he'll be a good player for us?
Yeah, Willian's is a top player, but what I'm worried about with Willian is that has he got, and I hopefully he's got the hunger and desire that he had at Chelsea. That's the only worry I've got, because we can see some players that come in here. What I don't understand, would he have signed for us if we got for the same 2-year contract as Chelsea? I don't think so. So is he just here for the money? Just because because it's easy not to move out of London because he he's got a restaurant in London. Does he really just want to stay in London for the sake of staying in London? That's what I'm saying. Has he got that same desire? If he has the same desire that he had for Chelsea, it's a great signing because it's just the wages that it's going to cost us. And if he brings us, he's an upgrade on what we got, yeah. But it's that desire and the commitment to the cause that I'm worried about.
Yeah, and lastly as well, what do you make of this whole situation with Raul? Do you think that it's going to be a positive thing that he's left the club for us, or do you think that we've massively maybe made the wrong decision? Listen, a lot of stuff's come out about all this stuff about him taking backhanders, and it's. What do you make of it all?
We don't know. No one knows the real truth. I'm looking at. See, he came out and he said he's leaving because he can due to circumstances with COVID has made his job a bit harder. So that tells me that the signings he wanted to make are probably not the ones that we're going to get in. So that tells me on that. I don't think if he did take money out of the football club, we would be saying we would be wishing him and saying he's part of the family, would you? If someone nicks like they said 10 million, you wouldn't be saying you're part of the family anymore, would you? So see, because we've
thing is, Claude, and I take your point, and I really do take your point about the, like wishing him well. I think the way he left the club and the way we publicised it, I think it was just all a PR stunt, a load of bollocks. I actually think there's more to this behind the scenes, because you have to look at a mate of mine showed me an article, and it said that all the internal stuff that has been leaked from Arsenal has been leaked through Kia Sharapshan, this agent. So he was leaking a lot of Arsenal internal stuff, that the club like to keep in house, because he was pally with Raul, and I think there's a lot more that we don't know, and I actually do think as well that we've not heard the end of it. I think there's going to be something that comes out down the line that's gonna shed some light on it. But yeah, in terms of them wishing, him, he's part of the family. Listen, the club ain't gonna come out and say, oh yeah, he stole money from us. But I do think there's a lot more murky stuff that we don't know.
Daniel, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're going to say that, but what you could have a point about that with the Kia. Maybe they don't like things being leaked, and maybe that's why he's gone. But what I'm trying to say is, you could say, well, he's left the left with mutual consent. He's left the club, but why go on about being? You don't have to say being part of the family, still being part of the family. Just say he's left the club, and that's it. And we wish him well. You don't have to say he's part of the family, do you? You don't have to put that in. But that's my take on it. It's my opinion. I'm not sure, because I think also if he did take the money, then you cannot. And if he did don't tell me Vinay must have overseen all this as well. So should he have gone as well then? If it is about the money, then he should have gone as well, because he must have overseen all this. Don't tell me he doesn't see what Raul is doing, because they're very, very close and they're working together. So don't tell me he hasn't seen. So should he have gone as well then, if it's about the money? So I don't know. We will never know, because this is how the club operate. They're not gonna tell you anything. Then no one will know exactly.
No, that's it. I guess we just have to see how things play out, don't we? And listen, it's not for us to kind of as long as all that my concern is, as long as money gets pumped into the right areas in terms of the team, that's all I care about. And as long as the performance is on the pitch, I couldn't give a toss what goes on upstairs. Do you know what I mean? As long as they're getting results and we're getting back to where we want to be in terms of being a successful club again, I'm not really fussed what goes on upstairs.
What will happen now is because maybe now Arteta will have more hands-on, and then now if anything goes wrong or goes wrong, he has to take responsibility, because that's what's happened. I think now they're giving Arteta more responsibility as far as players are coming in and out. So now it'll be his choice. Maybe that's another problem. Maybe Arteta didn't want the players that Raul wanted, and they come to a disagreement. So it was either him or Raul. So that could be another thing. So if that's the case, now he has that responsibility now of delivering. There's no more excuses. They're not his players or not the players. They're his players. So he's got either sink or swim with them. That's how it is.
Yeah.
We'll find out what happens in Raul's book. He'll release a book in like 10, 15 years, revealing all the secrets of what actually happened or something, probably.
Still waiting for the Wenger book.
Comes out in October. I think it's like the 20-something of October.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it is, because I've already pre-ordered my copy of it. I'm gonna it's gonna be an interesting book. Well, listen, I think that's probably a good time to wrap up. So listen, thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Do remember, smash the likes up, keep firing the likes up, keep subscribing to the channel, and also do follow my Facebook page as well, The Blind Gooner. That's hit 100 likes. It hit 100 likes yesterday, so that's growing fast. So what I'll do is I'll go around each of you in turn and just give your channels a shout out. So Claude, I'll come to you first. Just tell everyone about where they can find you and your channel.
Claude and the Bansters. We're doing all right at the moment. We're slowly building, and we do regular podcasts. We do watch-alongs and things like that. And we've got our own we've got a member scheme. So it's going along well. And listen, Daniel, thank you so much for inviting me on, and been a pleasure to be back on here again, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, it's a pleasure having you on as always. Listen, you know that you're welcome anytime on this channel. And Simpy, just give your listen. I know your channel's just hit over 400 subscribers, isn't it, Simpy? So just give your platform, your channel a shout out.
Oh yeah, so it's just Simpy141, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and I do pretty much 2 or 3 streams a day. I'm doing a mixture of everything, so fantasy football, gaming, and real football, really. But thanks for having me on, Daniel, and good to see Claude again.
By the way, well done, Simpy, for your charity 24-hour. I'm sure that went really well. Well done for that. Well done.
Cheers, Claude.
Yeah, listen, that was a great stream. That was a fantastic stream. So listen, guys, that's it. That's it for today's show. Listen, I'm going to be back later with another stream. I think it's going to be slightly later than 4 p.m. because I think got quite a busy afternoon, so it's going to be slightly later. But stay tuned. Remember, keep subscribing, keep liking the content, and listen. All enjoy the rest of your lunchtime and afternoon, and I'll be back later. Take care, guys.
Bye.